On Friday night, I killed myself. It wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was something I'd been meaning to get round to for years. But it took a long time to sufficiently research the available options and decide upon a course of action. What I did was to go into the West End after work and visit a little old man off Jermyn Street whom I'd once met in the French house. I wrote him out a cheque and asked him to sort me out. He put 16 small blue pills into a brown paper bag, shook my hand and wished me good luck. I thanked him and stepped out into the night. I decided to wander around Piccadilly Circus for a while and watch the people going by. Friday night revellers. Most of them were drunk and they seemed so happy that I began to waver. I sat down on a bench in Leicester Square and told myself that if another human being spoke to me in the next 15 minutes, even to ask me for money, I would back out of the whole thing. I made eye contact with quite a few people, but nobody said a word. I went back to the flat. For posterity, the last conversation I had with another human being, a teenage boy who was stepping out of a fried chicken shop as I passed. "Excuse me, could you possibly give me £1, please?" No, I couldn't. If I were white though, you'd have given me the money, wouldn't you? Yes, I think I probably would. I know you. I know who you are. You work in the library. I showered, blow-dried my hair, and changed into a 3-piece pinstripe suit. Sitting at my desk, I wrote a few brief letters to loved ones, and instructions for the cleaning lady. A pity that she should be the one to find me, but there was nowhere else with sufficient comfort or privacy. I uncorked a bottle of Dom Perignon and poured myself a glass. I emptied the bag out on my desk and arranged the pills in rows of 7, 5, 3, and 1. I swallowed them one by one in quick succession. I put on Brahms' violin concertos, sat back with my champagne, and relaxed. 10 minutes in, I started to feel a sharp stabbing sensation down my side, and I soon lost consciousness. I'm not sure how long it took me to wake up, but the record had finished. When I did, I rose to my feet instinctively, and noticed that I was feeling very weak and lightheaded. I looked back at my slumped body in the armchair, and I realised what I had done. Panic seized me. I tried to sit back down and somehow get back into my body. It was like trying to enter a solid block of concrete. Obviously, having never seen myself from the outside, I'm hardly qualified to say how I look. But I didn't seem to look like myself anymore. My body was a bloated waxwork, an unflattering caricature. Either way, I appeared to be dead. To confirm the facts of the situation, I tried to walk through my bedroom wall. It felt rather ridiculous, walking into a wall, but to my horror, I slipped right through. It was like walking through the little waterfall when you go into the swimming pool of a leisure centre. I found myself looking at the Lithuanian couple who lived in the flat opposite. They were eating some sort of spicy potato bake. Graham Norton was on television. All my life, I'd assumed that if there were something else, I'd be going straight to hell. But 3 days later, I'm still here. Perhaps there's some sort of unfinished business. Perhaps, like David Niven, my angel lost me in the fog. Perhaps this world was hell all along. I'd always known very well that if I weren't around, nothing whatsoever would change, and the world would continue on the exact same course. Still, it really astonished me to see it happen. I think I'd become convinced that the whole world was an acutely unpleasant hallucination, a bad nightmare in somebody else's dream. Most of the weekend, I found myself hanging around canal towpaths, independent bookshops on their last legs, 4th Division football grounds. When you're a ghost, you find yourself drawn to particular kinds of places. It's like metamorphosizing into a dog. Your instincts lead you in different directions. You have a nose for location. No, before you ask, I haven't gone near any ladies' changing rooms. No curiosity. I did entertain the notion of looking for a medium, but it's all academic now. All of the arrangements have been taken care of. I'm being cremated in one of those disgusting buildings behind Hackney Town Hall at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. If you fancy an afternoon out of the office, maybe I'll see you there. But you won't see me.
When you're working in a Soho sleaze joint, you see a lot of things. Racketeering, dealing drugs, every kind of prostitution. Sure, they think I'm an automaton here just to pour the drinks, but I am the eyes and ears of this institution. I see young girls come to sell themselves, I see old men come to buy, I see miserable sinners in every nook and cranny. They all want gratification, and no price is too high. We've got more rats in here than in the dustbins in the alley. Another double vodka for the out-of-work cesp. A bottle of Cristal for the gents from Channel 4. Whatever the giggling girls in the corner are having. We fill the ice bucket and soon they're back for more. 'Cause I'm the first-class barman, the best you'll ever meet, and the exterminating angel of Greek Street. I'm the first-class barman, the best you'll ever meet, and the exterminating angel of Greek Street. The horse trading keeps on as they keep knocking back the stuff, exchanging numbers, making promises that they'll never keep. Perhaps they're just more honest. No one could ever call this love. But each night that I've stood here, they've made me violently sick. And I'm going to reciprocate. I'll add my own special ingredient. Tonight was the night I'd been planning to strike. I've handed in my notice and I'm heading for the border. I laced every single drink with arsenic. And if you'll just excuse me, it's time to call last orders. One last triple vodka for the out-of-work cesp. £50 notes, still rolled up from the gents from Channel 4. Giggling girls in the corner persuaded to share their tab. In the morning, every one of them will be at death's door. 'Cause I'm a first-class barman, the best you'll ever meet, and the exterminating angel of Greek Street. I'm a first-class barman, the best you'll ever meet, and the exterminating angel of Greek Street. I'm a first-class barman, the best you'll ever meet, and the exterminating angel of Greek Street. I'm the exterminating angel of Greek Street. God gave us AIDS to keep us out of trouble, because the function of authority is to save people from themselves. People scoff at George Bush when he shares his precious lesson. He just wants to make you see that abstinence is the best protection. True love waits. Why didn't you know that all condoms are made with holes? God gave us AIDS to save the world, so that our great and glorious nation could be preserved in splendid isolation. Now everyone is single, and everyone lives in a studio flat, and everyone's much better off, and I wonder why we can't see that. We've discarded old ideas like friendship, peace and love. We never shake our neighbour's hand without a pair of gloves. When a body catch a body coming through the rye, God is watching over you to make sure you play nice. God gave us AIDS. What God has given us is the greatest gift of all. Man made Popeye to sell spinach, and man made God in his own image. God gave us all this, and in return, we must never let God fall. God gave us AIDS to make us into better people, to punish those who love the most. And because we grew immune to scarecrows, He waved goodbye to Witchfinder, gave a call to his mate Allah, gave us Islam, throwing in a bunch of boys called Al-Qaeda. We kept on sinning, it went unheeded. A more sophisticated method was needed. God gave us AIDS to stop our brothers on the dark continent from having their industrial revolution and choking the world in yet more emissions. It's the one thing it allows us to keep enjoying luxuries like MP3s and processed cheese and driving round in SUVs. God gave us the CAP and all these very wonderful treats that keep the rich getting richer and keep the poor off the streets. When a body catch a body coming through the rye, God is watching over you to make sure no one dies. God gave us AIDS. What God has given us is the greatest gift of all. When a body catch a body coming through the rye, God is watching over you to make sure you never cry. God gave us AIDS. What God has given us is the greatest gift of all. poor street flat with no natural light. Fluorescent cardboard stars are shining bright. 'Cause I cheat, steal from, and connive my Lithuanians, and I get everything I want. Don't you dare talk back to me. You better listen when I speak. And if they want to use their fists, you just turn the other cheek, because I'm your pimp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. I'm your pimp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. My main objective in life is milking, exploiting you, and you. I don't care what race you are, just as long as the smack gets you hooked. Let me hoard all the euros and rubles while you're alive. And I guarantee when you die of an STD, your 5% will arrive. Remember, I'm your pimp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. I'm your pimp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. I wear my hat to the side, and I walk with a limp. I'm your pimp. I'm your pimp. I'm your pimp. I'm your pimp. I'm your pimp.
A concrete block, 30 stories high. A nightmare opera in the Hackney sky. I could see Ali Pali and the London Eye. All I ever wanted was for one of us to die. The hallway was full of framed photos of you, tasteful model shots from your youth. I must concede, you were a beautiful woman back in 1762. The only friend you ever had was a blind and deaf old dog. If he'd seen or heard what the rest of us could, he'd have been off like a shot. Chopping up a bedroom door, you said you'd been locked in, accusing guests of stealing things that didn't exist. Banging my door at 1 a.m. Would you like some crepes, Suzette? Smoking crack with some hoodie you were setting up in fashion. The world hears up, they point and laugh to see me in the lair of a bitter divorcee. She's been on a brandy, she's smashing up the kitchen. The dog is wearing a jacket of tweed. You were the slowest hell of my life. Should we meet again? I carry a knife. You still owe me 400 quid.
Look outside, snowflakes fall. Aren't they so pretty? A brilliant white coat for this picture card city. Once they settle, they soon turn to slush. Contaminate all, with a browny grey mush. Look.
You seem like a lovely girl. The trouble is they always do. Perhaps you're different. I'm not prepared to take that risk on you. Before I might have let you in. Another place, another time. But I've tried and failed too often. Now I'm old and tired. I've been in this position too many times before. For the rest of my life and death, I'd rather feel nothing at all. Take a chance, you soon find out you've made a huge mistake. So never again. I've lifted the drawbridge and bolted up the gate. I've given up, cut the rope, I've cremated all hope. You came along too late. Now it's winter, and it will be winter forever. I've put that sort of thing to bed, like buried it in a landfill tip. I'll be a crotchety old man who never leaves his family crypt. I'll stick to my own type. Dead authors and dead film stars. Maybe I'll bed the old succubus, but it'll never, ever be love. I tied myself to the back of the shelf. Nothing to see here. I'm worried that I treat you the way that I've been treated, dear. The others took what I had to give, then chucked me out on the pavement. And all I've left to offer you is poison, bitterness, hatred. Parlez-vous anglais? Won't you just go away? You came along too late. Now it's winter, and it will be winter forever. You're still alive, so get out there, give and take. You can do as I've done. Repeat all my mistakes. But where the hell were you when I still had hope? Before I turned from human being into running joke. Here's your coat, don't look back. Go and walk your dog. But never email, never text. Put a firewall on my blog. Now it's winter, and it will be winter. Now it's winter, and it will be winter. Now it's winter, and it will be winter forever. Tony and Barrett were across the road, and their Bogart was on the phone. But Joseph Losey died alone. McCarthy sent for his head on a stick, when really he was above left and right. Art versus commerce, the tail wagged the dog. He was fighting a much nobler fight. He was the man who ran off with the bull, while everyone else was fumbling for light. Mise-en-scène was the ground which he fought on. His weapon of choice was the camera eye. He captured life's chaos, made it bend to his form. He cast the girls and made them cry. He showed the little boy what spooning was, and never again would the little boy smile. Joseph Losey died alone. He was with his wife in his Chelsea home. Tony and Barrett were across the road, and their Bogart was on the phone. But Joseph Losey died alone. He went to a place where no one could follow. He made a fantastic voyage with his art. Put himself through all conceivable sorrows to reach the epicenter of the human heart. And though he found our skulls to be mostly hollow, our hearts have been infected by poisonous darts.
He saw the looking glass to be a prison cell. He jumped straight through it, and that's where he found us. We design, build and live in our own private hells. If we search for the truth, we are simply confounded. There was just one thing at which we excelled: inflicting great pain on the people around us. Joseph Losey died alone. He was with his wife in his Chelsea home. Tony and Farrell were across the road, and Dirk Bogart was on the phone. But Joseph Losey died alone. Hitchcock and Wells were babes in arms. Buñuel and Vigo were horse and cart. Lang and Renoir were end-of-pier farce. Fellini and Godard were tiresome farts. Joseph Losey died alone. Joseph Losey lived and died alone.
How sweet it is to have free will. We'll never be more awake or alive. The human race has never known such comfort. How lucky to know such enlightened times. You jump out of bed on a Saturday afternoon. You can watch children play in your local park. You can eat egg and chips in a greasy spoon. How many thousands did you send to their deaths? How many countries did you invade? Where's your place in the history books? It's the only criteria men use to confer greatness. Biology dictates everything you'll ever feel. Social conditions decide how you'll piss away your life. Distributors dictate everything you'll ever eat. Market research dictates everything you'll ever believe. Christ descended on a soft white cloud. He hovered above the gathering crowds and said, "A £10 bet on Lampard to score first at Old Trafford could win you £90. What difference will it make what you choose to do? To the rest of the world, your loved ones, or you? What single contribution have you ever actually made to the world around you?" Here you are in the greatest city on earth. You can go absolutely anywhere. You can do absolutely anything. You can ask out any girl you dare. You can get the bus to HMV, waste £40 on DVDs. You can wander around Topshop feeling clumsy and ugly. You can drink and drink till you puke in your sink. Maybe you'll just spend the whole day in bed. Little fishes swimming in the sea. Little fishes like to think they're free. Little fishes, let me tell you this. Free will is something that doesn't exist. And when they die, they go to their God. £4.20 for chips and cod.
Little fishes swimming in the sea. Little fishes like to think they're free. The extent of their freedom, they get to decide whether or not to swim clockwise. Little fishes. Little fishes. I was a little boy who broke 1,000,000 hearts. My story was a legend, and it owned the Waterstones chart. My parents didn't even know the meaning of work. They drank from dawn to dusk and treated me like dirt. I got raped with broken bottles, and my cage was 2 foot high. The only friends I knew were the cellar rats and woodlice. For Christmas I'd get 4 broken ribs and a black banana. Next to mine, Dave Peltzer's youth was Club Tropicana. Critics praised my brave conviction. I get stocked in the non-fiction. No one realises, as they lavish me with awards and cups, that I made the entire thing up. I was really born in Hampstead and didn't want for a thing. Walking the heath with my Labrador, I'd feel like a king. My parents both loved me and would spare me the minutest pain. I was raised on a diet of fresh lobster and champagne. I went to a public school, the same one as Lord Byron. All that time I never heard so much as a police siren. Perhaps you think me callous, guilty of foul play. My conscience is as clear as the waters at Saint-Tropez. Our civilization is built on lies. Jesus didn't really rise. Newspapers and governments treat the public with contempt. Shouldn't I do likewise to make sure I'm well kept? Abusive childhood narrative. No one liked my work until I adopted a disguise. Now they swarm around it like dog shit loving flies. I'm a storyteller who learned his craft with dedication. This is just reward for my powers of imagination. Be a slave or be a liar. Work in bondage or retire. All of us would sell our souls if someone wanted to buy. Everyone opens their wallets if they're made to cry. If misery is strategy, and poverty loves company, I'll tell you why I tell you lies. I'll tell you why I tell you lies. It's the only way to win first prize. Abusive childhood narrative. Abusive childhood narrative. Every night I get down on my knees and thank God for my abusive childhood narrative. Both my parents passed away when I was just 16. The convent kicked me out because I couldn't make the fees. So you, dear godfather, took me into your home. You would speak fine words, but had a fondness for the liquor, and all you really wanted was to get inside my knickers. Demure and innocent, I knew nothing of love. You would preach free love and quote radical philosophy, then say you'd kill the first man who managed to get off with me. How could I respect such a loathsome hypocrite? A canary in a gilded cage, I began to chew the bars, when my own desires were stirred by a student of the arts. He was my first love, not you, so I went off with him. Did you really think that I could ever love a man like you? A randy old goat with nowhere to bury his bone. I won't be held prisoner by your hammer fool. Go back to your own bed and leave me alone. When I became a cripple, I came crawling back to you, just because I was curious to see what you would do. The rake who denounced marriage went and gave me his ring. You and I are both trapped by objects of desire, but this time I'm the spider and you're the fly. Still needing to possess me, you haven't learnt a thing. You paint your greying beard with brown boot polish. How can I take you seriously with this knowledge? Not once in your life have you walked it like you talk it. Now you're a senile old man who can't stand on his feet, drinking hot chocolate with a load of priests. You fail my little test, and so your life is forfeit. Did you really think that I could ever love a man like you? A sentimental lapdog who couldn't let go. I won't shilly-shally when it's time to kill you. Lie back, shut your eyes, and you won't even know. The things we long for most. I'll pursue my freedom, but I'll dream about your ghost. I got a girl comes from far away. She doesn't understand a word I say. She used to work for Reebok and Nike. She did 80-hour shifts in her factory. She's been stitching Man United footballs since the age of 3. I bought her on eBay for $2.99. She's very obedient and we get on fine. You'll be mine and give your life. Stay with me, mail order bride. You don't want a girl from the same background.
We need to talk to you, Me. It's not working out.
They never let up its impossible demands. You're just putty in their hands. When it comes to love, you can be slave or slave trader, and I know which is much more fun. I bought her on eBay for $2.99. She's very obedient and we get on fine. You'll be mine and share your life. Stay with me, mail order bride. This one always does the cleaning. This one always does what she's told. This one's so grateful for her new life that I'm the center of her world. Don't hand over the whip to some pretty girl. Keep it for yourself and you'll never get hurt. Her music's crap, her conversation a bore, but my mail order bride knows the score. And I know for a fact that she'll never leave, cause I keep her British passport under lock and key. I bought her on eBay for $2.99. She's subhuman, but she's all mine. You'll be mine and give your life. Stay with me, mail order bride. I've had my heart broken for the very last time, cause I don't give a shit about my mail order bride.
We come from Turnpike Lane, we come from Silver Street, we come from Stamford Hill, you're gonna lose your teeth. We come from Turnpike Lane, we come from Silver Street, we come from Stamford Hill, you're gonna lose your teeth.
You made your annual visit to 3 Point Lane. Sat on a corporate box, smoked salmon and champagne. Drogba was on fire and you won 4-0. Business as usual, you had a lovely day. Listening to U2 in your BMW. You were driving home with a smile on your face. When was that morning your engine blew up? Beside a council estate somewhere in Haringey. Poor little Chelsea fan, what will you do? The bus stop says another 16 minutes. Poor little Chelsea fan, we're looking at you. We want trouble and you're gonna get it. We were watching in the pub because we can't afford Sky Sports. We've been drinking since noon and we're feeling rather cross. Abramovich is an evil man, and in your shirt and scarf you've just volunteered to be his effigy. 20 years humiliation is an awful lot to take. Pent-up frustration just has to escape. Your skull hits the pavement and speckles it with blood, like balsamic vinegar on the rocket you had with lunch. Poor little Chelsea fan not singing anymore. The bus stop says another 15 minutes. Poor little Chelsea fan, no good locking the doors. Our flick knives are out and you're gonna get it.
We come from Turnpike Lane, we come from Silver Street, we come from Stamford Hill, you're gonna lose your teeth. We come from Turnpike Lane, we come from Silver Street, we come from Stamford Hill, you're gonna lose your teeth.
When I get mugged in the local laundrette, when I find myself 12 grand in debt, when the Russian Secret Service take my parents away, when I get tarred and feathered by the UDA, I don't get upset, I just sigh and shrug, and I remind myself, it was written up above. Human beings crave immutable laws. It's the ultimate don't get out of bed clause. Nobody knows who's holding the pen. Such things are beyond us mortal men. So just put on the kettle if you find that you're fucked, and remind yourself, it was written up above. Just ignore every word I say. It's not the new nobody is evil, it's more that nobody is good. All evil means is the ones who lost. The winners get to choose how it's recorded and remembered, who was right and who was wrong. You can't change laws like that with a million protest songs. But here he goes again, an amoeba on a soapbox. Speaker's corner retard versus impossible odds. Driven to delirium by immigrants and World Cups. Brown and Cameron do their best to butter you up. Morrissey beseeches you to stand beside the flag. Tiresome fucking hypocrite, Naomi Klein and drag. Since he went senile, he's never been so loved. A ready-made replacement for the Queen Mum. If you go singing at the proms, or if you bask in British pride, then you're endorsing rape, you're celebrating genocide. If you're proud to be British, you can't possibly know what it means. But if you do and you're still proud, you're as stupid as you seem. Just ignore every word I say. Every day is Amnesia Day. Derives its power to shock from the fact that it happened in Western Europe. Africa has a Holocaust every 5 minutes, and not one of us ever bats an eyelid. We expect such behaviour from races so savage. When it's too close to ignore, it can do real damage. Germany shall forever have its name dragged through the shit. The crime was not to do it, but to not get away with it. America did the same thing, but they finished off the job. Remembered as peacemakers because they dropped 2 atom bombs. I'm not here to make excuses for the Islamic Nazi guys. I'm dragging the whole human race to that courthouse in the skies. If you go singing at the proms, or if you bask in British pride, then you're endorsing rape, you're celebrating genocide. If you're proud to be British, you can't possibly know what it means. But if you do and you're still proud, you're as stupid as you seem. Just ignore every word I say. Every day is Amnesia Day. Just ignore every word I say. Every day is Amnesia Day. Every day is Amnesia Day. Just ignore every word I say. Every day is Amnesia Day. Didn't I see you in the high street on a pissing down miserable night? Weren't you eating falafel in the Z bar when the Turks there drew a knife? Ah, you drowned that Jew in Clapton as he tended his mum's grave. You know, that Polish-speaking gentleman, the one we all called Dave. Come now, gentlemen, there must be some mistake. How forgetful you're becoming. Now I fix my business straight. I remember you in the Limelight Lube in 1996. You're a faggy little leather boy with a smaller piece of dick.
You're a thrashing, gnashing hunk of mince. Your farts smell sweet and strong. Your organs working perfectly, but there's a part that's not screwed on. Were you at the Joy Fest bars back in 2005? You're the in-red art school four-piece I've seen heavily advertised. You're the PR man whose daughter licks the clacks and samplers clean. You're the man who pushes a wheelchair of the man from Soft Machine. Go now, gentlemen, some peace is all I crave. You'll still be in the circus when I'm snoring. Snoring in my grave. Oh God, if you want to do that kind of thing, you should do it in the lavatories. Do get washed, have a haircut, and choose new friends. When the posh kids do the fighting and the rest of us go home. When the young girls are fed the lions inside the Millennium Dome. Be wary, please, my gentle friends, of all these scenes you breed. They have a greedy habit. They kill the bands that lead. So remember who you're told you are and keep your noses clean. Boys will be boys and play with toys, so get out and die in peace. Oh Rosie dear, I'm feeling queer, so leave me if you please. The lady's dead, a big baby said. You gentlemen, why, you all work for me. To old England. I like to see a good clean hanging. Build that scaffold high and build that scaffold well. Don't cut any corners. I recommend using Richard Carpenter. He's plied his craft for 40 years. Welcome to my caliphate. Welcome to my caliphate. Sharia law? Sharia law. I like to see a clean, swift beheading. Sharpen the blade on a smooth, round stone. Then send the tape to Al Jazeera. I recommend hiring Sandy Shaw. You'll find her on the long walk home. Welcome to my caliphate. Welcome to my caliphate. Sharia law, Sharia law. Propose a toast to John Field and William Prynne, to Christy Mallory, to George Galloway. I lift my lips towards death and decay. I love to see a successful mission. Sling it in a sports bag or strap it to your chest. Then take a seat on a rush hour train. I recommend sending Marvin Gaye. When did she stop loving him? When did I stop loving you? We do all this because we hate freedom. And Mecca is just past Clapton Pond. Welcome to my caliphate. Welcome to my caliphate. Welcome to my caliphate. Welcome to my caliphate. Sharia law, Sharia law. Sharia law, Sharia law. Sharia law, Sharia law. Sharia law, Sharia law.